Hey, Steve Wiedemann here, and the next part of our SEO training series. This particular video will cover how to do a competitor analysis report. And again, another time-consuming but very simple task to execute. What this particular task does is help us to identify competitor strengths and weaknesses, helps us to understand and to create a baseline of competitor performance. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through each of 4 specific competitors of Pet Hotels of America and include Pet Hotels of America so that this date today will have a baseline. The goal, of course, is over the course of the next 6 to 12 months is to hopefully level the competitive playing field in terms of all of these specific criteria. Most of these criteria are from SEOmoz.org. SEOmoz.org is a tool, is a website that has tools that allow us to get a better understanding of what search engines might think of a particular website. Very similar to Google's own PageRank system, MozRank takes into consideration all of those very similar ranking factors to give us a score that's very similar to what Google's PageRank score might be. Well, why wouldn't we just use Google's score? Because they only update what they want us to see in their toolbar about every 6 months. So it's not a real accurate, metric, but SEO Moz is pretty close to real time. So these are the different criteria we're going to look at. We're going to look at domain authority. We're going to look at Moz rank, sort of like PageRank. We're also going to be looking at the domain, the trust that the domain has. And this could have to do with a number of factors, such as websites that you're linking out to. So if you're linking out to websites that might not be trusted, that particular score could be impacted. It also has to do with authoritative websites that are linking to your main domain. External follow links, that refers to how many other websites on the web, web pages on the web are linking to your site. Total links includes links that are on your website as well. Followed root domains means how many specific domains are linking to yours. In other words, a minute ago I said web pages. This is just domains. So one website could have 300 pages containing links back to your website. Whereas this particular criteria is just making sure that we're just isolating those links down to their root domain. Why that's important to us is because the link value depreciates by domain in terms of volume. So we notice that if we get one link from Mashable, for example, and our page rank goes way up, when we get another link from Mashable, we don't see that significant of a change. It's the linking domain that carries its trust and authority with it through its link. So knowing how many domains are pointing to us is very important. Followed means that the link itself carries an attribute that allows Google to share and to give credit or a vote from that link. A no follow tells Google, I don't necessarily trust this website. Please don't give it credibility based on my voting power. So you won't be penalized if you link to a website and you use a no follow in most cases. Linking C blocks, that means links that are coming from basically the same web server. So you might have a different IP, but be on the same C block. Google could pick up that pattern of linking, and if it chooses to, scrutinize you from basically creating a network on one server to try to build a system of links. PageRank, not as important as it used to be, but I'll still put it in there just so that we can look at it. Alexa score, I really wish I could just leave this one out, but so many SEO companies still use this, and I just don't want anything ever to come back and say, well, isn't Alexa something common that you do? Well, yes, but it's stupid, and if you really want to do it, great. We're going to do it just because we don't want our client to say, well, this guy says Alexa's important, even though personally it's really skewed by marketing data, and it's just a really bizarre, not even sure where they get their information from. Next, edu and gov links. Matt Cutts has made it clear that no one domain extension carries more weight than another. However, we know that EDUs, colleges, and government offices get linked to and used the most. They get the most traffic and they get the most trust Oftentimes, websites will refer to .gov for specific references, like laws and rules and regulations and ordinances and so forth. So they'll get a lot of links and authority from other websites. .edus obviously are mentioned and used constantly by the students, the faculty, and the staff. So very high authority, trusted domains. Like to track those. Facebook shares. Now these all go into our specific social signal, which is about 7% of overall ranking, and that is shares, likes, tweets, and now plus ones. We're also going to look at webpagetest.org, which uses the Google web page performance test tool, and Website Grader, which is another somewhat controversial tool, just to give us some level of a score of how a hub page's a particular tool might think we rank or might think we're doing in terms of performance. So let's go through all of these. The top part's pretty easy to do. Simply navigate over to Open Site Explorer. What we're going to do is put in Pet Hotels of America, and we're going to compare up to 5 sites. Let's go ahead and go back to our Word doc. We've got petswelcome.com. Let's add another. Official Pet Hotels. Let's add another. Pettravel.com. Let's add one more. Bring Fido. Just add a www to each of these, just in case. I'm going to assume most of them have done some level of SEO. Let's go ahead and hit compare. It obviously didn't take our Pet Hotels of America. So how fun, we get to do this again. There we go. Cool, it kept all our data in there. Great. Exactly what we wanted. Okay, so this is it. So now all we have to do is copy and paste this information into our Word document. Notice the order is the same. Authority, Moz rank, Moz trust, followed links, etc. It's all here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this information, and I'll be right back. Actually, before I copy and paste that over, let me show you the actual piece on here that I'm looking at. This is the page specific. I actually want to make sure I'm copying the root domain metrics. This is the most important piece for me because we're looking at the entire website holistically. But what I will borrow from the home page are the social media attributes because that's the only place that they're displayed on this page. Does that make sense? So again, we're going to copy the root domain metrics. Don't screw this one up because we're needing this data to be accurate. And then at the top, of course, the social media pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste both of those into our Word doc, and then I will come back. Okay, so where we are right now is we've copied over all the information from seomoz.org at a domain level, and we've copied over the social information at the page level from the root domain. So there's still a few more criteria that we'll need to complete this competitor analysis, at least from a metrics perspective, from a keyword and link perspective. We're going to capture that data in the link analysis report and keyword discovery report. But for the purpose of knowing kind of where we are numerically as compared to competitors, this should help us out. Next on our list is PageRank. So let's go to our browser. There's a tool that I like to use called SEO Quake. It's an extension for Chrome, and I think it works for Firefox and IE too. SEO Quake. If you're in Chrome, not Quack, Quake. Quake. There we go. Extension. There you go. And as you see when you do that, you'll see the SEO Quake extension right there in the search results. If it's for Firefox, you'll use add-on, whatever you want to use. So once it's installed, we can navigate over to us and to our competitors, and we can see some really interesting information. So let's go to Pet Hotels of America.com. Once the page loads, depending on where you've installed your extension, you can install it so it shows up at the top or on the left, however you want. I like mine to show up on the bottom right hand corner. To show you how that's set up, just go to Tools and Extensions. If you're in Chrome, it'll be on the top right. I'm in Rockmelt, which is a social browser. Just pretty cool. It allows me to basically do some really neat things that you wouldn't normally be able to do, such as tweet and do some cool stuff from your browser over here, as well as see all of your Facebook subscribers over there, or people, Facebook friends and so forth over here. I'm going to get rid of this extra extension here, and we'll move it over. So let's go down to SEO Quake, click on Options, make sure it's enabled, go to SEO bar, make sure it's enabled. I like to have mine minimized so it doesn't disrupt my browsing experience, and have on the bottom right. So if you want to do that, great extension to use. I highly recommend it. I don't like it for what you see in the search results though, so when we're done with this, I'm going to disable it. So I'm on our site. I'm going to go ahead and click this awesome little button down here, and I can see that we're a page rank of 2. So I go back to my report, and I put page rank of 2. And Alexa, let's see what our Alexa score looks like. Here we go. And you can just copy it, Control C, and I'm going to go ahead and paste values, paste special, and do unformatted. Here we go. So we got a long way to go still, because obviously with Alexa, the lower the number, the more traffic your site might receive, and the more better rank you have. So I would assume that Google's like a 0 or 1. Let's see here. The .edu and .gov we'll come back to in a few minutes. Let's go ahead and do Pets Welcome. Same thing. So I'm going to go to Pets Welcome. I'm going to click on this extension. They're a page rank of 4 with an Alexa rank of 319,405. 319,405. Next one, Official Pet Hotels. You get the idea. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of these 3, and then I'll come right back. Okay, so we captured all this data. We've got the PageRank and Alexa. Now let's get the .edu and .gov information. You can do this by going through the exports from OpenSite Explorer. It takes a little bit of time to do it this way, but I just stumbled on a new website, just as in saying 2/27/2012, called Ahrefs. This is kind of a neat little site, and again, I haven't spent a lot of time really analyzing the data. It's possible that this could just be an API with Majestic SEO or with an OpenSite Explorer. I'm not really sure. They don't really tell us where they get their data from. So let's take a look at this, and we've got 0 edu and 0.gov for our Pet Hotels of America site. So I'm going to go in and put 00, 00, and then let's do petswelcome.com. I'm using the free version right now. I only have a few requests left in here. But again, the hope is that we can get through this without me. I haven't actually signed up for an account yet because I'm not sure if I'm ready. I don't know if the data is as awesome as it possibly could be. But hey, this is interesting. So it looks like Pets Welcome did something drastic. Something happened here, and they got less links. This could be part of the last Panda update, perhaps? I'm not really sure. Either way, they've got 16 EDUs and 28 .govs. So 16 EDU, 28 gov. Next one is going to be officialpethotels.com. I'm not sure if it's going to let us do an export. Let's find out if it will or not. If it will, we'll capture this so that we have it as a reference point. And I don't know how much of this data it's going to show us. Oops, a little too much there. Here we go. Pretty neat. Cool data. Okay. So let's go to the next one, and we have officialpethotels.com. Same thing here. Wow. Okay, great. So same thing, 0 and 0. It's easy to see who the 800-pound gorilla is in this space at the moment. Looks like Pets Welcome. Let's look at pettravel.com. Same thing. I'm going to look at this area over here on the left. This also tells us whether they're followed, no followed, redirect. What else do we have? How many of them are images, where the link perhaps could be in a JPEG or something, as opposed to just being a regular link. Come on. A little bit slow. I'm going to go ahead and pause for a sec. Alright, there we go. Alright, reference domains. So we've got 1 edu and 7 gov. By the way, in this types, it's saying that there's 13 from with .gov extensions and 1 from a .edu. To me, that basically means individual links. This more refers to domains. I'm a little more interested in domains, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that data. So from 1 edu and from 7.gov domains. So 1 edu and 7gov. And the last one, bringfido.com. One and one. Alright, we're almost done with our competitive analysis report. And remember, this is metric based. This isn't our links and keywords. Those are in the other separate reports. So let's go to webpagetest.org. And let me grab this download really quick while I'm in here. And let's grab our first one, pethotelsofamerica.com. Let's go ahead and run it. Test location. You know what? We are in the US, so pretty much anywhere US is going to be fine. If you're targeting a specific geography, that's one thing. And this is going to take into account IE8. Just still the standard browser at the moment. It would be awesome to do all the other browsers as well, but I would say stick with what most people are using, and most people are still PCs, and most people are still on Internet Explorer, particularly businesses and so forth. So I'm going to let this run. I'm going to click pause for a minute. You know, while this is running, what I can do is go into my downloads, right? Go to downloads, and you can see all these spreadsheets that we've been downloading here. And what I'll do is I'll move them into the appropriate section in our, there we go, in our accounts. So let's go back into Pet Hotels of America, and we'll go into research. We'll go into this month, and these are going to be under links. So we'll grab them under links. Alright, backlinks, domains, links. Pull them all into here. And there was one other that we got, which was actual anchors. And we'll pull that into here too, and we'll relabel it in a few minutes. For now, at least we've got it in the right folder, and it's not sitting in our downloads folder, which could be purged at any point. Alright, so we failed miserably. So, congratulations. Pet Hotels of America, because it is a Frankenstein of a website with all sorts of crazy hacking and coding and programming and 8 different styles and JavaScripts. It's a bloody mess. So, let's hope that our killer awesome developers can jump in there and be like the Swedish chef and just start throwing stuff around until we get all A's across the board. Not likely to happen until we really get some funding going for the site, but for now we're gonna probably just be happy with our F and do the best we can off the website. So let's go ahead and take this and let's put our score in here. And again, we could test individual pages. For now, we're just going to test the home page since it gets hit more often than not. Let's do FAFAFX. FAFAFX. Let's go to the next one. It's going to be petswelcome.com. And I'm just going to repeat this step for all of the domains. So hang on just a second, I'll go ahead and do that. So while our web page test is running, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the next line, which is website grader. Let's put in Pet Hotels of America. Oops. PetHotelsOfAmerica.com. I went to websitegrader.com, which redirected to marketing.grader.com. And let's just go ahead and generate report. Let it do its thing. Let's go back over to our web page test. So this is how we multitask, try to get the reports done. We'll just jump back and forth between the two. Help us add benchmarks. Alright. Yep. Correct. You couldn't find a Twitter account. Our Twitter account for Pet Hotels. Twitter.com. Pet Hotels of America. And it should come up with our profile pretty quickly. USA Pet Hotels. So we'll just grab that URL and paste. And then our Facebook page. / Pet Hotels of America. Awesome. Go ahead and grab this. We'll paste it in. Save it. Save it. That's going to run its little report, and it's going to give us a score. Before we did those changes, we had a 64 out of 100. Let's take a look at what it is. Oop, moved up to 70. So we have a 70. Not bad. Pet Hotels of America scored a 70 out of 100. Not a bad start. Let's see how our report is doing for official pet hotels. Can you keep up? This is how we do it. So you guys have to learn how to be able to toggle between running multiple reports at the same time. BABFFX. BABFFX. Is that right? Correct. Awesome. So I can go back here, petswelcome.com, go back to our report, grade another company, paste, generate report, go back into this test, and now let's do pettravel.com. It's all a lot of copy paste, right? You see me copying and highlighting and so forth. Copy paste, copy paste. HTTP. I'm just going to do LA because that's where I am. Let's go ahead and start test. Let's go back into this one. Check out what I found. I'm just going to go ahead and leave this one default, so I don't really know officially what their Facebook pages and so forth are. 77 out of 100. Move to the next one. Official pethotels.com. Add our www. Generate. How's our web page test going over here? Looks like it's still running. Back over here. 37 out of 100. Let's go back to our web page test. And we're on pettravel.com. Pettravel.com got AAFAF. AAFAF. By the way, anytime you see these Fs, that's an opportunity for us to do better than a competitor. So don't think of it as, oh, they suck, we're better at them than linking it, or we have the same as them, we're fine. Always try to think of how can we be absolutely better than the competition. Not just better, but totally out of the box unique. They're going to go, how on earth did they do this? Like, maybe we use responsive design. Maybe we figure some really awesome, amazing way to do what we do. Our biggest challenges are the fact that we're integrating in third-party software, such as Priceline and PHP link directory and all these big clunky things, way down our system. So it's not always a really good experience. 78 out of 100. 78 out of 100. And our last one is going to be bringfido.com. Let's see how these guys perform, and then we will call this competitive analysis done. It's been about 18 minutes so far. Thanks for bearing with me. I know this training can be pretty boring, but having this data gives us a really good baseline. It gives us some metrics to sort of measure against to see how well we're doing across the board. Not a huge fan of this website grader because there's some things in here I don't necessarily agree with, but it is an industry tool, and it is an indicator, I suppose, of something that might be important or something that we might not have thought about that might be in their criteria. So definitely not worth nothing. Definitely some opportunity for us to see what other people consider to be criteria in terms of ranking signals. So we'll let this run. Looks like it's just about done. And let's do it 60 out of 100. So we did pretty good. 70, not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, let's see how our webpagetest.org did on Bring Fido. I'm going to go ahead and close this now. We'll close our Facebook page. Let this guy finish up. BAFCF. And that's it. The other thing that we're going to do in this competitive analysis is we're going to look at competitor title, meta, and keywords. And so I'm going to go ahead and jump into that here in just a minute. I'm actually cutting this video into 3 parts in the same video, so that way I've got this for later reference. So hang on just a minute, and I'm going to jump right into the next phase, which is looking at competitor title, description, and keyword metadata. Hey, it's Steve. So we're back, and we just looked at the competitor analysis in terms of metrics. Now we're going to take a look at title and metadata. So what we're going to do is navigate to each of these websites, and we're going to view the source code. I'm just going to paste this right in here, and then all we do is right-click off to the side, view source. Title's usually right here at the top. Go ahead and Control C. Right click. You probably want to do a paste special so it doesn't come out with all sorts of funky text. There we go. Meta description. Usually it's a little bit further down. If you need to, use Command or Control F on your keyboard. And you can see that they're using the same CMS that we are, which is WordPress. Kind of interesting. And let's see if they're using keywords. They're not. So we do have somewhat of a competitive advantage still. Wow, look at all these keywords. Travel with a pet, pet travel articles, moving with pets. These guys are pretty much copying everything that we're doing. Very interesting. So none. And then just copy just rinse and repeat. Do the same thing over and over for all of these destinations. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to grab the same information. Just one more time so you see me do it. I'm going to go to the specific destination. I'm going to right click off to the side somewhere. I'm going to copy the title. Control C. Paste special. This just gives us some insight for us to know what the SEOs on these projects are working on. Descriptions usually right beneath it. And if we're lucky, the SEO gave us their keyword research in the form of the keywords that they're optimizing for on the home page. Paste special. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and grab the rest of them, and we'll go to the next step. Okay, and so what we'll use this data for later on is we're going to pull all these keywords into our keyword research, and we're going to determine where our competitors are getting the most of their traffic from, and what they're targeting in paid natural search. So we're going to look at all of these competitors. We're going to pull these keywords into our keyword research, and we'll get some really good insight. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this up a little bit here. Since we've got a lot of data in this one, I'm just going to go ahead and Control H. I'm going to replace commas with comma space. And close it out here. Alright, that's it. Okay, cool. So the last piece of this competitor analysis report is going to be getting the age of the website. Why this is important has very little to do with keywords actually. What this has to do is with the trust of a website. So if a website's been out there for years and years and years, and this years of data from being found and clicked on for various keywords, and you're talking, some of these go back to 1998, so some 14 years ago, these sites existed and were getting traffic for keywords that they weren't necessarily doing any optimization for, but there weren't many competitors. So over the years, Google has calculated thousands of clicks to these websites for keywords that they might not be optimizing well for, but because they were the only ones out there at the time, have just earned and stayed at the top of the search engine results. My site, Top 10 SEO Tips, tends to rank in the top 2 or 3. Sorry, a little screen blurb there. Tends to rank in the top 2 or 3 of the search results for some pretty competitive keywords. Even though some of my competitors have earned much better links than I have, or even spent more time on their content than I have. It's just because my sites have been around since 2005, 2006, and have that history and that trust that I tend to still ferment right there at the top. So in doing this, what I did is I went to archive.org, typed in .petswelcome.com and all the other competitors, clicked the Take Me Back button. This was at archive.org. and it tells me right here that they have information dating back as far as December 7th. Now the site could go back longer than that, but because this is actual data that they have from those dates, I think it's fair to just to grab the date for when they actually have a vision of what the website looked like back in the day. So kind of a neat little tool, but just to give us some insight in terms of how much history it has. By the way, this works for AdWords as well. If you have an account with AdWords and you continue to nurture your pay-per-click account, over time you're going to establish much better quality and much more authority, and definitely pay lower costs over time as long as you continue to maintain an AdWords account. Whereas somebody who starts new basically starts with lower quality scores. No matter how great their ads are and how great their landing pages are, you're going to get the better rates because Google's already given you that account level trust. So that's the competitive analysis. In the next step, we're going to get into the keyword discovery report. But for now, you've done a competitor analysis looking at metrics, baseline metrics, page performance, social media, links, authority. We've also done a scrape of title, meta, and keywords that we'll use as we get into the keyword discovery. So this is Steve Wiedemann. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.